Hey guys, I just bought a 2004 Toyota Highlander that has 215k miles from my next door neighbor. They bought this brand new back in 2004, and neighbor's wife drove it for 18 years. She had mixed feelings about letting it go and replacing it with a brand new 2022 Lexus RX 350L. They went got a quote from AutoNation and gave me the first option to match that price, but I know these places lowball the offer to leave room for their profit. So I gave my neighbor several $100s more than AutoNation's offer because it was a fair treatment to my close neighbor and it's still lower than what I would have to pay in the market. Also, since we lived next door to each other for the entire life of this car and had collaborated on a number of DIY repairs, I kind of know the condition and history of this car already. So when he asked me if I wanted to check the car, I said no, it's not needed. But let's have a detailed look at the car together now. Here we have a big, deep gash on the front bumper, and this fog light cover, I'll have to ask him if it's original. Headlight is all yellow and needs polishing. Looks like we have a few dozen rock chips on the hood and bumper. Here's that funny looking fog light cover again. It doesn't look original. He intended to keep this car a few years longer, so he just installed four new Hanguk tires and had complete brake job and brake fluid flushed just a year ago. Here we have more chips and scratches, nothing major. Not sure if I can scrape off that paint protector or paint over it. Little ding here, and brake light is a little bit cracked, but he says moisture never got in. A few more light scratches here that can be polished out. Now let's go look at inside. The interior is in great shape, other than having some stains here and there, but I think I can clean that out and remove the stains. The only interior damage I see so far is just this small tear. Let me see if I can stitch that back together without making it look worse. Now this is a nice leather steering wheel cover, but it is way too thick, and I'm gonna remove this. Let's go look at the back. Whoops, that left some things here. I'll return it. He also gave me some leftover parts that he bought. This is the front passenger side window motor. Right now that window goes down but doesn't come back up all the way. Some oil filters and filter removal tool. There are liquid stains here and there, which is expected from a 18-year-old fabric seats, but I'm still pretty impressed that there's no major tear or deep stains that can't be removed. A little bit of stain on the headliner, but otherwise it's in really good shape. I wish this had a third row seats, but it doesn't. Got trunk cover. Hey, and it still works. It's clean and have all spare tire tools, and the spare tires under the car. Interesting. I didn't notice it from outside, but the windshield has one long crack and few rock chips. Let's have a look under the hood. This is the V6 3MZ FV engine that produces 230 horsepower and 242 pounds of torque. I'm very impressed that this V6 engine is still very powerful and runs very smoothly, as well as the transmission. It shifts very smoothly, but it does have some oil leak around the valve cover at least, and that oil is coating all around under the car right now. He's had this oil leak for several years now, and I offered to help replace the valve cover gaskets, but I guess we never got around to it. For this car, the rear valve cover gasket replacement is kind of pain in the butt because you have to disassemble many parts. But when I get to it in the next few weeks, I plan on tackling follow-up work while everything is taken apart. Clean piston carbon buildup. If necessary, clean the carbon buildup on intake valves. Replace spark plugs. Replace PCV valve. Replace valve cover, spark plug tube, and intake plenum gaskets. I'll also remove the throttle body so I can clean the backside more thoroughly. And I'll also clean the mass airflow sensor. After that, I'll do a deep engine degreasing and cleaning. Right now, there's just so much oil coating all over the engine and underside. When I do the carbon cleaning on pistons and intake valve, I'll do a bore scope video of before and after results. I'm glad that CVX boots are not ripped because those are also pain in the butt to replace. He had a minor accident with this car where they skidded while braking during rain and hit the car in front of them at a low speed. The bumper was kind of banged up, but mostly remained intact, so he just patched up some holes and cracks. I'll see if I can smooth out that finish and repaint the front bumper. Looks like the power steering fluid was flushed at 99K and 181K miles, and the brake fluid was flushed at 202K miles. The battery is 4 years old, so that's probably coming up for replacement. The biggest reason why my neighbor gave up on this car is continuous front suspension noise. He tried to fix it by replacing all four struts, front strut rod, control arms, tie rod, ball joint, etc. But right now it's just got a lot of knocking and thunking noise that's there constantly. He took it to a few mechanic shops and they are advising different parts to replace, and mostly these are parts that have already been replaced. I know he went cheap with aftermarket parts, so that could be causing the issue. I just don't know the details at this point. Visually, I can't see any problems, so I'll see if I can pinpoint the problem using an action camera to record movements of different parts and see where the noise is coming. As you can see, this cheap car has lots of work to do. Haha. So I look forward to seeing you guys soon with many DIY videos on this Highlander.